Okay, well, I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight for this lifelong vitality spotlight. And I'm going to go through this rather quickly because I want to keep it to under an hour. But basically, the point of our lifelong vitality supplements are to help us live younger, longer. And as you may know, doTERRA is getting ready to do a spotlight on wellness. That's our focus. It's not just about the essential oils, but it's about overall wellness. So tonight we're going to talk exclusively about the lifelong vitality supplements. And you might think, well, is there enough for a whole class on just the supplements? And I assure you that I'm barely going to scratch the surface tonight. But I think I've covered the most important information that you need on, how these are going to help improve the quality of your life. I'm trying to get my computer to advance. There we go. The supplements, as you know, are a trio, and we have the Microplex VMZ, the XE Omega, and the Alpha CRS Plus. The VMZ are your vitamins and minerals. It's easy to remember because the V and the M. Vitamins, your most important vitamins and minerals in the amounts that you need them. The XE Omega is your omega fatty acids, and the CRS is the cellular regenerative serum. So we'll take them one at a time, but before we get there, of course, we have our triangle, the steps of health. And what's the foundation? If you look at the bottom, the green, it's eating right. Eating right is the most important part of this wellness journey. And then exercising, giving the body the exercise it needs, including stretching. Don't ever forget your stretching. And then rest and managing stress, reducing your toxic load, your informed self-care, and proactive medical care. So that's the doTERRA triangle that gets you to a wellness lifestyle. But nutrition is the foundation, right? That was the green part at the bottom. Unfortunately, eating right is not always enough because our soil has been compromised. The things that are done to our fruits and vegetables are usually done for mass production and not for the well-being of the person consuming them. So for those reasons, eating right is not always enough. Not only that, but there are certain things that your body needs that you cannot get from your food. And as we go, we'll talk about those things. I hope you have a notepad. I hope that you take notes. And like I said, if anybody has questions, we'll tackle those as we go. So this is the one thing that I think distresses me the most about this presentation, and that is that the average lifespan of Americans has dropped for the first time in over 20 years. In 2017, the lifespan of the average American dropped to the age of 78. So whatever we are doing in this country is taking us in the wrong direction because we should not in America have a declining lifespan. Now, there are many, many reasons for this. One of them is the opiate epidemic or pandemic in our country, but there are also other things that are happening in the medical community that I think contribute to the decline of the average American's lifespan. But the goal of the lifelong vitality supplements is to compress morbidity. In other words, if you are very, very sick, you only want to be very, very sick at the end of your life. Rather than being sick longer, the goal is to only face a short battle of illness at the very end of life. And that is the purpose of lifelong vitality, to compress our morbidity. Now, some benefits of the lifelong vitality supplements include that it will help you live younger, longer. It will help delay the onset of chronic diseases by 7 to 12 years. It compresses the time between chronic events and death so that you live a prosperous, healthy life until that last final part of your life. And they offer clinically supported benefits. And when we get to start talking about the free radicals in our bodies, this is something that this last point, literally reversing the aging process, I can attest to the fact that I feel better at 53 than I did at 43 by a lot. And my aches and pains are gone. And I contribute that solely to the changes that I've made with supplementation and getting off of all medications and taking my lifelong vitality supplements every day. I quote Hippocrates often. If you've gone to any of my Essential Oil 101 classes, you've probably heard me say this, but this is his quote: "Let thy food be thy medicine." And I believe that firmly. As much as we are able, what we eat truly is like medicine. And I often say that everything that we put in our mouth is either poison or medicine. You truly are what you eat. But again, sometimes our bodies need things that we cannot even find from good nutrition. So what do we do when our food isn't enough? Well, that's when supplementation becomes necessary. Supplementation is giving the body something essential that it cannot get on its own. So these supplements are taken daily to augment what the body needs from an outside source. So this class is all about our supplements, and an interesting thing that you might not know is that doTERRA has wonderful essential oils, but it is the lifelong vitality supplements that are our #1 best-selling product, and they're our #1 best-selling product for a reason. The vitamins and minerals that are in these supplements are in their whole foods form. And what I mean by that is they literally take broccoli and dehydrate it and break it into a powder and put it in the supplements. So you're getting your nutrition from whole foods. The supplements would, in order to get what they give you as far as fruits and vegetables, you would have to eat 12 servings a day. And I don't know about you, but I have a hard time hitting the 5 servings a day that they recommend for us. So I like knowing that my supplements give me 12 servings of fruits and vegetables. And there are 9 oils contained in these supplements, including a tummy tamer, so that you don't have any, the taste of the vitamins, they don't upset your stomach. Did somebody have a question? All right. So in this class, you will learn the science behind the mechanism and biochemistry of lifelong vitality. We just call it LLV for short. You're going to learn about cellular health and optimal nutrition. You'll learn about the mitochondria of a cell and the effects of aging on the body, and how to function at your body's optimum efficiency. So this is where we get into science class a little bit. What is nutrition? Well, nutrition is, the dry, rather soulless and mechanical act of delivering nutrients to cells and tissues in order to optimize health. That's the basic definition of nutrition. So what we see in the world right now is either malnutrition, which is on the left, or obesity, which is on the right. And neither one is healthy for our bodies. And what we strive for is to find ourselves somewhere in the middle, right? That's the goal. So let's talk about what makes us feel old. What ages the body? Well, there are many factors. People that go through stretches of insomnia with lack of sleep, people that have aches and pains that are coming from the way that they eat or the lifestyle that they're living, discomfort that is caused from those same factors, a loss of vitality, malaise, or just a general not feeling well. And we've all had times where, let's say we've gone on vacation, which I recently did, and all the things I do when I'm home, I did not do on vacation. I stopped taking my supplements. I ate whatever I wanted. I slept when I wanted. It was glorious, but I had to come home and pay the piper. And I started having aches and pains and not feeling well. And I realized I had undone a lot of the good things that I do to make myself feel well. Well, all those factors on the left are caused oftentimes by free radicals. What's a free radical? Well, they're an unstable molecule that steals electrons from other cells. It's called oxidation. What ages an automobile that sits outside? Oxidation. So the same thing that we see happen to a vehicle that sits in a junkyard is what happens in our bodies with, like I said, the things that we eat, the habits that we have. The pollution in our world, we are constantly taking in free radicals. And those free radicals rob our healthy cells of their electrons. These free radicals are caused by sunlight or ultraviolet radiation, and it damages the mitochondria of our cell. And ultimately, if you don't offer another healthy electron to that cell, the free radicals will ultimately destroy that cell if it's not dealt with. But the free radicals, and this is super important, are neutralized by antioxidants. You guys have all heard how important antioxidants are in our diet, right? We need blueberries, we need spinach, we need all these foods that are antioxidants. That's because they will trap these free radicals and force them out of our bodies. But we can also do the same thing through supplementation. So antioxidants help the body. They neutralize the free radicals, they share their electrons, and they restore cells that would otherwise die. They restore those cells to full health. Now, doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality contain 9 essential oils that all have antioxidant properties, and I've listed them here on the slide for you. There's clove, frankincense, thyme, cumin, orange, peppermint, ginger, caraway, and German chamomile. Each of these oils contains these necessary antioxidant properties that deal with free radicals in the body. So the LLV is sold in a 3-pack. Most of you already know that, but for those that might watch this in the future or might be joining us that don't know, this is the 3-pack. And a little bit more detail, and you guys can all read this for yourselves, but the Exio Omega is the ultimate omega-3 fatty acid for heart and brain function with 9 essential oils, including clove, which we know is what makes our On Guard blend so powerful. It is the world's #1 antioxidant. This formula gives you 340 milligrams of EPA and 240 milligrams of DHA per serving, supporting healthy cardiovascular system, immune system, joint, and brain health. The VMZ is your vitamins and minerals that you need that you're not getting from what you're eating. And it also includes this enzyme that ensures that you will absorb these vitamins and minerals, because you guys all know the whole country spends so much money on supplementation that often they never get into the body. They never absorb into the body. For those of you that are, have been taking supplements for any length of time, whenever you take a supplement that is hard with charcoal, that charcoal makes it an impossibility for you to absorb the nutrients. What do we filter our water through in a Brita filter? Charcoal. Because it stops anything that we don't want in the water. So why would you put your supplements in charcoal? And when we have this, gosh, I'm getting some kind of a warning on my computer that says we have, okay, we're good. Sorry about that. So when we have these supplements that are wrapped in charcoal, if you took that supplement and baked it in an oven, it would still come out as a massive lump of coal. And when you talk to people that work in sanitation companies, they often say that the thing that they find at the bottom of the tank after everything has been processed are these undissolved vitamin capsules that people buy at places like Walgreens or CVS or wherever. So our supplements are different in the sense that they are a powder inside of a capsule that are completely able to be absorbed into the body. And I think it's important to note that. And then the alpha CRS is the powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and the cellular energy producer. So this is what's going to help with the mitochondria of the cell. It helps to support the proliferation and the lifespan of the cell. And most importantly, it supports a healthy cellular inflammatory response. So what causes cancer in the body? You need two things. You need sugar and you need inflammation. So if we can deal with the inflammation and if we can behave ourselves with the sugar, then we're not going to come down with these diseases that are plaguing so many Americans. We need that healthy inflammatory response. And this, I think, is the primary reason why all of my aches and pains have gone away. All right, let's go on to the next slide if my computer will cooperate, which it's not doing. Okay, so Microplex VMZ, this is the one that's going to give you your vitamins and minerals. And we are to ultimately get to the point where we're taking 4 a day. You can do 2 with breakfast and 2 with dinner. You can do 2 with breakfast and 2 with lunch. I know a gentleman who religiously takes 1 from each of the 3 bottles 4 times a day because he had such aches and pains that he needed to maximize the benefits. So he spread them out. But there is flexibility in how you take them. And when you're sharing these supplements with anybody new, remember that they need to start slow. They need to start with 1 capsule from each bottle at breakfast and then add a second capsule maybe at dinner from each bottle and then work their way up to the 4 per bottle per day. Any questions on that?
Janine?
Yes.
So Shar said today that she takes all of her supplements in the morning only because she knows she won't remember to take them later in the day. And I have only been taking 2 because I didn't know I could take all 4 in the morning. Do you agree with that? That's fine?
I think if that's the only way you can get them, that's better than not getting to the maximum dose. But I really think that if you can split them up, you're going to maximize the benefit because your body will eventually only be able to absorb so much vitamin C or vitamin whatever. Okay. And when you take all 4 of them at once, I think you're going to end up having a lot of it flush out of your kidneys when your body is looking for it later in the day. So I think optimally, you'd be better off taking them twice and 2 different times during the day. But if that's the only way you can remember, then yes, that would be an option. But I think it's unfortunate that even she couldn't remember maybe breakfast and lunch even, and a lot of people don't want to take their supplements at night because they take the Mito 2 Max, and you certainly don't want to take that at bedtime.
Exactly.
So hopefully that answers your question.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk in detail about the Microplex VMZ. It's got the vitamins, minerals, and trace elements that your body needs, and it's very available to your body. It's highly bioavailable vitamins and minerals because they come from whole foods. These supplements are bound to amino acids so that they are more readily absorbed by the body because your body recognizes this as food. It's a nutrient. It's not some pill that was made in a factory. And it seeks balance in the body. The VMZ is a supreme example of tending to cellular health. it meets, and not Dr. Hill, Rob Young was very careful when he presented at convention last year to say that these don't exceed recommended dietary intake because the body can't absorb more than your body needs. So it meets the need for the dietary intake. It does not exceed. He says more isn't better. BMZ seeks balance in the body, not mass quantities that cannot be absorbed by the body. And if you have team members that are preparing to get pregnant or are pregnant, they more than qualify as a prenatal supplement. So it's really nice for pregnant women. They don't have to change their supplements, and they're already giving their bodies what they need to create another little tiny human, which is very exciting. So I'm hoping my children start creating more children here soon. So next we're going to talk about the XE-omega essential fatty acids. And this is really interesting because I think a lot of aches and pains come about because of an imbalance between omega-3s and omega-6s. So XE-omegas give us a balance between 3s and 6s. We get tons of omega-6s in our daily diet. We get them from our green vegetables. But what we don't eat a lot of in this country, except maybe Michelle who lives in Seattle, we're not eating enough fish. And that's where we primarily get omega-3s. So omega-3 fatty acids cannot be made by our bodies, so they must be added. We get omega-6s daily, but the body requires a 1-to-1 ratio between omega-3s and omega-6s. Okay, so let's talk about the results of imbalance. So we are told by scientists that the minute we have only 1 omega-3 to 4 omega-6s, our bodies will become symptomatic. We will start to feel aches and pains. We will start to have negative side effects from that imbalance. Because remember, the body needs a 1-to-1 ratio between omega-3s and omega-6s. Well, the average American lives at an imbalance of 1 omega-3 to 15 omega-6s. So all of these weird diseases that have become, common in this day and age where we have, I don't know, I can't even think of them now, Crohn's or lupus or all these autoimmune diseases could probably often improve if the person would work themselves back from that 1 to 15 ratio to a 1-to-1 ratio. And that's what XE-omega gives us. The competition for some metabolic enzymes means that omega-6 beats omega-3 every time. And that's why your body needs omega-3s. So what are the consequences of living with that imbalance? Well, like I said, we've got all these diseases that people are talking about. The consequences of an imbalance between omega-3s and omega-6s are chronic inflammation, exhaustion, confusion, immune dysfunction, chronic pain, fatigue, rheumatological diseases, all these things that I was just mentioning that have kind of fallen into a catch phrase of diagnoses. A lot of these things could be fixed with that kind of balance. So the ratio of 1 omega-3 to 1 omega-6, this is the benefit. It's a reduction in inflammation. You get healthy triglyceride levels, which can help if you need cholesterol medications. It gives you greater mental acuity, stronger immune system, chronic pain disappears. You'll have more energy. Cardio and cerebrovascular disease improves. You're not going to get, heart disease, strokes, those kind of things. So the XE-omega is super important for getting rid of all those symptoms that we struggle with. And then this one, which often everybody likes to joke about, that it stands for, it helps people that can't remember stuff. It does help with mental acuity. So let's talk about alpha, which alpha CRS, alpha meaning first, and CRS, cellular renewal system. Okay. So this product seeks to enhance cellular energy, targets the cells, defends the cells from oxidation, and some of the things that we already know that help with mental acuity, like ginkgo biloba helps with memory, CoQ10, which is good for heart health. This supplement contains those. It has the alpha lipoic acid, which helps create new mitochondria in the cells, which is very important for us if we're going to repair any damage that we're struggling from. By the way, I went to the gym today and did Zumba toning. So exercise is also a way that you can enhance mitochondrial biogenesis. That's why it is the second tier of that triangle of wellness. It contains Alcar, which increases the mitochondrial mass and structure, so it won't become as easily damaged from any free radicals that you do get into your body. It supports memory and focus, and it improves mood. Who couldn't use that, right? But the key is it contains no sugars and no stimulants, and I love that. I will tell you that since I started on these supplements, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the grocery store and forgot my list, but that's okay because I remembered everything that was on my list. And I was like, whoa, that never used to happen. What the heck? And the more I learn about alpha CRS, I believe that's probably what's supporting my memory. So if you have somebody that's struggling with memory, or if you are, then that might be good for you to know. So the combination of the CoQ10, the ALA, and the Alcar creates this wonderful, rich environment in which your mitochondrial biogenesis can increase, and where the the mitochondrial decline is reduced, like compost to soil. This combination helps reduce oxidative stress, which is what causes all the diseases that we're trying to avoid. And this is why these supplements are our #1 best-selling product, because you start taking them and you feel fantastic, and then you start telling people, and then other people take them and they feel fantastic, and it fixes so many issues. And I'm getting ahead of myself. When we get toward the end, I'll tell you some of the personal testimonies that I've heard. All right. All right, sorry, needed a drink. So to assemble all of these items, the CoQ10, the ALA, the Alcar, the 12 fruits and vegetables in a whole food format, it would cost about $250. But the cost to create the Lifelong Vitality supplements exceeds what they charge us for it. It cost doTERRA $153.50 to make these 3 bottles of supplements. But they sell them to us as wholesale members for $79.50. And I remember when I was at convention and Rob Young shared this, I said, why would they do that? And Rob Young said, well, you might be thinking, why would they do that? It was like a Gilligan's Island moment there. Because I thought, that's crazy. You don't take a loss on your cost. But Rob Young said, this is our advertising budget. We supplement the cost of these vitamins because we know that you being healthy is the best advertisement for our company. And they supplement our costs so that we can afford them, so that we will take them, so that we will be well, and then we are a walking billboard for doTERRA. So it is quite a wonderful deal that they give to us, and I'm happy to become an advertisement for them. Now, here's something I want to share with you. If you don't already know this, there are some secret savings that loyalty reward members get to take advantage of. And every month when you order your lifelong vitality supplements, they will let you customize your kit with up to 3 additional supplements at a reduced price. So for example, if you see in the middle there the blue bottle of deep blue polyphenol, that bottle is $59.50 if you were to purchase that on its own. But when you get it with your supplements, now it's $20. So why would you pay almost $60 to get that when you can get it at a reduced rate, a third the price when you get your supplements? Don't miss this secret savings deal, because it is the way to get these. If you use any of these other supplements, this is the way to get them. And that Mito 2 Max down there is our energy and stamina complex, which is fantastic. I believe that that is what allows me to get more done in any given day than I normally could or should be able to do. So the choice tonight is yours. Optimum Health on the left or Free Radical Playground. It's really up to you what you feel like you want to be. I know right now I have been a Free Radical Playground for a week, but I need to get home from my vacation, and I need to get back on track, and I need to get back on my supplements and start feeling well. So I am going to stop our recording, and then we'll open it up.